Alright, so if you've been wondering what all these videos are leading up to, some people may use them just for, find them interesting for entertainment value. But actually, my intentions is to get you encouraged enough to want to become a magician. Alright, so today is getting started as a magician. One of the first steps you want to do is keep a dream journal. I used the movie The Matrix as an example. Lawrence Fishburne's character was named Morpheus. Morpheus is actually the Greek god of dreams. Alright, the name of the ship that they traveled on was called the Nebuchadnezzar. So if you're familiar with the Nebuchadnezzar, he's a king in the Bible who kept having dreams. He enlisted Daniel to interpret his dreams for him. Daniel in turn enlisted three other guys whose names were changed to Chaldean names: Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So I told you that in my Hebrew alphabet video that these represent the three mother letters of the Hebrew alphabet. So Shadrach represents Sheen or fire, Meshach is Mem or water, Abednego is Aleph or air. Okay, so what they're actually representing are actually elements also. So this level right here is this is the basic level. This is where we are right now. So this is earth. Daniel is us. So we represent earth or our instinct. So the next level up is where we go when we dream. So we go up here. This is our intellect. So if you're familiar with the term airhead, that's what you're talking about. We're dealing with air right here. So Aleph. So this level right here is where we go to when we dream. This is the water level. So intuition. So this is what we feel at. So right here is Meshach or water. So up here is the fire. So this is the essence of us. This is our identity. This is what we really are. Although we identify with our physical body. So that's the problem. This is our ego down here, this earth physical body. So this is our real self up here. This is our real, our true identity, our soul. We're made out of light and fire. Alright? So down here was the instinct or what you do. Right here is intellect, is how you think. Intuition is how you feel. Identity is just you know. Alright? So that's who Nebuchadnezzar is. So the main character in the movie was Neo. So he represented the neocortex part of the brain. That's the newest part of the brain. So it's involved in higher functions. So that's what we're dealing with. We're trying to become magicians or work on our higher selves, which is our upper self. Remember, we're down here stuck on the third level of the dream. If you looked at my Inception video. So we're stuck down here in this third level of the dream trying to get back home like Dorothy up here in the upper triad. Alright? So couple of tips. So the first thing you want to do is keep a piece of pad and something to write with next to your bed. So this is not the actual dream journal. This is the scratch pad. You're gonna write all your rough drafts on. You're gonna just jot something down. So a couple of tips. First thing you want to do is before you go to sleep is repeat this to yourself. I will remember my important dreams when I awake. I will remember my important dreams when I awake. So that's tip number one, right before you go to bed. Tip number two, you may wake up in the middle of the night and want to go right back to sleep instead of breaking your sleep all the way and write down what you just dreamt. One of the tips you can do is toss a piece of crumbled paper, tissue, or scratch sheet of paper into the middle of the floor. What's going to happen is, hopefully, is when you wake up, you're going to see that piece of paper is out of place, and it's going to make you, it's going to jog the memory of the dream you just had. So soon as you're tossing that paper, say, I will remember the dream I just had. So when you wake up in the morning and see that piece of paper, it should trigger your memory of that dream. So that's a tip. Tip number three, record your dreams immediately. Jot down something, anything. I know most of the time we wake up in the morning, our bladder is full, so you want to go to the restroom. Jot down something before you go to the restroom. You'll be surprised at how quickly you will forget your dreams. You don't have to write down the details. Remember, this is shorthand. You're just writing this down on a piece of paper. Later on, you're going to transfer it onto your real journal. So you want to write it neat and detail and expand. Alright? And most of the time when you look at your notes and as you get to writing, you'll remember more about your dream. The next tip, record something daily for at least 3 weeks. For at least 21 days, write down something. Jot down your dreams. Alright? In the beginning, you may not remember much or might only remember a little, but after a month or so, you're going to see yourself write more, at least a page or more. Alright? In the beginning, certain days you may not remember anything. Don't leave that empty, because like I said, you want to record something every day. So you want to have 21 entries. Even if some of those entries are blank, what you want to write down is, I chose not to remember my dreams today. I chose not to remember my dreams today. So you want to do those things for at least 3 weeks, 21 days. So that's just the beginning phase of keeping a dream journal. What's the point of this? We are stuck down here. I told you. The next level, when we go to sleep, our physical body stays right there. So our light body travels up here. So this is the intellectual air spot on the Kabbalah tree of life. We want to end up eventually going all the way up here. So this is the first stage to starting to get control and become a magician and interact with your higher beings. So remember, we use our neocortex. So we're trying to develop our higher functions. Okay? So there are 4 types of dreams that you may have. One of them could just be meaningless. You basically wander around aimlessly in your dreams, so it really doesn't mean anything. Another kind might be your subconscious trying to get messages to your conscious. The problem with this is subconscious relays messages in symbols. So sometimes your conscious can't relate to those symbols because you may not know what the symbols mean. So either your conscious mind may refuse to remember it, or just simply can't because it doesn't recognize the symbols. So that's a good reason why you want to jot these things down, because later on you're going to get familiar with a lot of symbols, because your dreams is going to be trying to tell you something that you may not be able to interpret right now. And that's another thing. This is not for you to try to interpret it right now. What you're trying to do is get in a habit of remembering your dreams. So don't try to interpret nothing for the first 3 weeks. All you're doing is just writing them down so you can get in a habit, and then after a while it's going to be easy. You're going to always remember. It's going to become easier and easier as time goes on. So I guarantee that after 3 weeks, if you do this little formula and take these tips, it's going to become second nature. The third one is astral work. So that's on a level of when you're already doing work like lucid dreaming, where you become conscious in your dreams. So you're already practicing magic right now, and you're traveling like to the different. It's 22 paths. It's 10 sephiroths, because I told you we trapped at number 10. You might want to travel to number 9, meditate on that, so on and so forth. So if you're doing astral work, you can actually go to places, and if you study the Kabbalah, you'll know what angels rule what. Like the thrones might rule one. If you've seen my Game of Thrones videos, that's a type of angel. So you might want to visit some thrones or something like that and get some information on something you're working on. The last type is a combination of all 3. So those are the 4 types of dreams you have. Okay. So when you get past 3 weeks, there's other things you can do to try to take control and master your dreams. I did a video on how to do sigils. So here's an example of one sigil. You can actually do a sigil like I will encounter a unicorn. So what you want to do, what you're trying to do is do this sigil. Of course, do the work. If you don't know how to do the sigil, look at the sigil video. Whatever you're left with, you can meditate on that sigil. And once you encounter a unicorn in your dreams, then you want to keep repeating that and try to master that. Another way is to just visualize anything, real or imagined. I use unicorn. You can use an apple or whatever. Just come up with a subject, meditate on that, or think about it before you go to sleep. So instead of saying I will remember my important dreams, do this for the first 2 weeks. But after 3 weeks, after you feel like you got this down pat, try, in place of saying I will remember my important dreams, try a sigil or try to visualize something that you want to see in your dream. Once you're able to do this, then you're going to know you're mastering your dreams. So that's another hint that you're getting better and better at this, because you're able to will what you see in your dreams. Then eventually you want to also be in your dreams and tell yourself, I know I'm dreaming. And you can bring more information back down, because remember, this is the illusion. This is the real. It gets more and more fake as you go down. So this is the fakest. Your dreams are more real than what we call reality, believe it or not. Yeah, so I think that's it. I hope you enjoy. So this is for people who want to start put some of this stuff together instead of just watching all these breakdowns of movies and wondering why I keep talking about pineal glands and endocrine systems and so on and so on. Everything ties in. So now we're going to start practicing magic and understanding what these stories and these allegories are trying to get us to do anyway. All right. And it's basically so we won't have to join in groups. You don't necessarily have to be a Mason to practice magic. You don't have to be a Wiccan or be a witch and follow no group. You can do this in the comfort of your home. You don't have to answer to anybody. All right, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.